Welcome. So, while we are waiting, I'll just talk about some of the new stuff I got going on because tonight we're going to pretty much talk about goals for 2021, and I have a gazillion of them. So, what I decided to do tonight on the live was to ask Leslie about some of them because most of the goals that I have, this woman has done just about everything, like almost everything that I'm trying to do. A good percentage of that she's already done. So if you have any questions, feel free to use the question feature or put it in the comments. It'll probably be better to use that question feature because that way I can just pop it up on the screen and we won't have any issues there. Welcome, Be Prosperity. Well, ready to join? Simply Heather join. Hi, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to Motivational Mondays. Hi, Leslie.
Hello, can you hear me? Let me see.
Yes.
You went down low. Hello, everyone. Brittany, you look so beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Wearing those lashes, I see you. I dressed up with some earrings and some Vaseline for you. There you go.
She put a little jazz in there. She got on that.
I zhuzhed it up.
Look, you got on that money green shirt. Hey, Terry.
Look, I make money while I sleep is what it says. Hey.
I love it. We're going to talk about making money in your sleep. But first thing we're going to talk about is, well, first, let's just get an introduction, like just a brief, for those that don't already know you.
For those who don't know me, there are so many, and I want to say thank you for taking time out of your day to get to know me. So my name is Leslie Tucker. I am a reseller's passion, and I started reselling because my handsome husband Thomas was reselling when we got married. I was working, and I wanted to definitely just bring us together. He was going his way, I was going mine, so I just wanted to keep us connected. So I asked him to teach me what he was doing and how he did it. And he showed me how to resell. He was on eBay, but I went the Poshmark route and just started selling. And our reselling businesses aren't together, but we had fun sourcing together. We were going to the bins way before we knew they were called the bins. That was part of our everyday shopping. So I've been going to the Goodwill outlet for 8.5 years, and I've only been reselling for 4.5 years. So that's how I got started. I am a mom. I have 5 biological children. And when I married Thomas, I was gifted and blessed with 5 additional, and the majority of them weren't babies, and none of them are babies anymore. 2 youngest are 18, and they're freshmen in college. Woo! Okay. I'm a mom. I have a beautiful 7-year-old granddaughter. I'm a professional baker by trade. I'm all kinds of stuff, you know. So here I am, you know.
Hello. No. So, as I was talking to you about before we got on the live, about your name and how you came up with that. You want to give us the history on the name? Because I'm really interested. One of my 2021 goals is to change my name. So, yeah. I mean, I already picked the name, but I've got to go through the process. So,
yes, name changes. It is really important. Yeah. Your name is not your brand. You are your brand, but you want to find something that celebrates you and incorporates everything you are as your unique self. Okay, so a reseller's passion is just my name. Me, Leslie Tucker, is my brand. Everything you know and see is me. So when I started here on Instagram, it was a personal account, and I was Leslie Dene is me. And when I started reselling, I said, well, maybe I can go on Instagram and do something there. So I became, at the very end, October 2018, I changed my name to Leslie's Fashion Boutique. And that's also what my Poshmark closet was, because my Poshmark closet was Les Dene as well. I'm like everyone else. I decided I was selling, didn't have a name, didn't have a logo, believe me, ugly pictures, the whole deal. So I was Leslie's Fashion Boutique. I mean, how unique is that? And that's who I was here on Instagram once I changed over to a business account. And fast forward to about June 2019, when I started getting really active, because in August of 2018, I became a full-time seller. So I was selling full-time and getting very active. I was very, very active in the Poshmark community. And I wanted to do something, change my name to something that spoke to me. So think about it, a reseller's passion. I'm a reseller, right? And I talk about everything that I'm passionate about. So when someone comes to my channel, whether it be Instagram, whether it be YouTube, they're not surprised if I'm talking about motivation or if I'm inspiring you, if I'm talking about lifestyle, if I'm teaching you tips. I won't just be doing unboxing. So when you come to me, you're not going, well, I thought she was a reseller. No, everything that I'm passionate about, a reseller's passion incorporates everything, that whole umbrella, and the beauty of Leslie.
Right. Well, I know one thing that I wanted to make sure I did. So the name that I picked personally, now I'm not saying that everybody has to do it, but I thought, like you, I like to know people's names. Right. So if I see your name and your name's not in there anywhere, then I want to know, who are you? Exactly. Just like you, because right. I look at people from the same standpoint that you do, community members, not, yes. I'm not trying to get followers. Yes. I want people that actually, yes, I want to know you. You know what I mean? Like, this is a community of people and I love it. You know what I mean? Like, and I want people to follow me more so than, and they're following because we have something obviously in common, or something that they might want to know, or you may be able to educate them.
I agree with you 100%. When I started attending like events, like I had my first Posh and Sip, but then here in Philly we had Posh Party Live, and as people started to get to know my face, they would literally introduce themselves as their Instagram handle or their Poshmark name, and I would say no. I would literally stick out my hand and look them in the eye and say, "What is your name? I want to know who you are." Because I can't relate to your name because that's not who you are. That's how we show up. But now that you're in front of me, let's discuss and become friends. Like you're Brittany. You're not discount deals for you to me. You're Brittany.
Right. So that brings me to my next topic, which we can talk about probably for the rest of the whole chat, but we're not going to. But I wanted to touch on like mental awareness, like just being more aware of where you're at, and I don't know, just not getting too caught up in your work and balancing everything out. Because I think somebody had a question about it. Yidham said, how does she manage her time with family and work?
So I'm going to come from the perspective of an empty nester. Okay, so I am at a place, I'm 51 years old, and my youngest daughter is 18. She's a high school. Oh my gosh, she's done with school. She's a college freshman, and she also is a certified CNA. She's at work now. She works a full-time job. So I no longer have any children. So all my schedule is mine. I can choose to either do or not do whatever I want to do. You understand that? So with my business, when I first started and I wanted to come home, I was very strategic and I had a strict schedule. My kids, it was 4.5 years ago. I was still chauffeur mom. I was taking kids to soccer and volleyball and the whole deal. But as each person left or went off and was old enough to drive and do their own thing, I got more of myself back. And so my schedule didn't have to get I didn't have to get deep into it. Like I don't put like Monday I'm going to do this, Tuesday I'm going to do that. Years ago I did. Now when I wanted to come home 2 years ago, I did. I was like serious, and I was working like 80 hours a week, getting my hustle on. Now that I'm more established, right, I can really do what I want to do. I actually start off each day with a list of things instead of a specific schedule. I create a list. So what I do is I sit down on Sunday and I write down as many things that come to my mind that need to be done, like washing clothes and cleaning my bathroom and all the business stuff, my podcast, my YouTube, all those things. I write that down, and then I start off the week with the most important things. So on Monday in my planner, I write down 5 things that I want to achieve. The 3 things at the top are the most important. My goal is to get 5, but 3, if I get 3 done, then I've achieved something. I don't beat myself up. I have no babies. And my situation is a lot different than a lot of people. People look and go, oh my gosh, what? I don't have to cook. Everybody in my house cooks. My husband is an adult male who is capable. He washes his own clothes. I haven't washed anybody's clothes in 10 years. My children have cooked and washed their clothes and everything independently since they were about 8 or 9 years old. So they were already doing that. On a Saturday morning, there was no bother mom. They knew how to work the toaster, the microwave. They know how to follow recipes and things. So I literally only cook maybe 2 times a week. And like I went downstairs to make a salad just before I was talking to Brittany at about 7:30. And then I said, you know what? I want to cook something for me and my husband. It's 2 other girls that live here, but they're over the age of consent and they know how to take care of themselves. So I actually threw us some chicken fajitas together, because I felt like it. He never asked me. There's no pressure. There's no expectation. Right. And that's our partnership. So it's pretty flexible for me, but I have been in every stage. I've raised 5 children. I stayed at home. I homeschooled. I have a daughter on the autism spectrum. I had a daughter with a medical condition. So I've been through it all. I got divorced. I worked a job 6 days a week, 2 jobs, had 1 day off, and I ran 2 businesses. I've always had a hustle. So I know what it's like to have pressure and how to structure and all that good stuff. But now my business really runs how I want it. And also the reason why, I'll end on this point. I've gotten to the point, I've been working since I was 14 years old. When I left my final job, I was 49 years old. When I left my job to run my Poshmark business, at the time, originally my goal was Poshmark. Then I added eBay. 49 years old. That was 2.5 years ago. I was tired. I was beat. I was ready to come home, but I earned that. I earned that. So I'm 51 now. So for people who are looking at me, do not look at me. I have worked to this point. I don't owe anyone. I don't have any debt. And so I was able to come up with a plan. I saved a lot of money and made a lot of money before I left my job, though. And so now I do what I want because a job was bringing me stress. And now any stress created is me, but I walk away from stress. I'll do something creative. I'll take a break. I want a fun job. This month, and I own it, so I can create it and do it, develop it how I want to.
And so when you need a break, you actually get a break.
Exactly.
Instead of just keeping on going and going, because sometimes you run yourself rampant. I did that too. Like I had 3 jobs at one time. I'm working 4 days here and then the other 2 jobs the other day, so I do know what it's like to work around the clock. You got the money in the bank, but you don't have the balance. I couldn't keep that up obviously forever. You know what I mean? Like,
it's something, it really is. And this year, if anything else, has really taught people like what's important. We stress so much over, okay, I got to go work for someone else. My thing was, okay, I was working for that person, but I would come home and hustle double and triple the time. And then when it was time for me to leave, I was like, see ya. And then I came home and was and I'm still running my business. Running my business. My husband's home full time because he was a retired firefighter when I met him. So.
Yeah, that balance thing. A lot of people obviously need help with the balance. So do I. That's something that I have to work on for 2021 is just making sure that I'm balancing everything out. Because if you put too much over here, then like I said, with the mental awareness, what I started off with, you'll fall into some kind of, it's not a trap, but you just fall into this pattern or a repeated pattern of missing things or, at family events, you got all kinds of other things that are going on and you'll miss out if you're just head down. I was listening as much as I could when I first started reselling. I was listening like crazy. And I'm like, but that's all I was doing. I wasn't doing Instagram or
all the other stuff.
So I mean, the sales and everything were there. 10, 15 sales a day was good. But the thing about it was I wasn't able, I needed to have this piece right here with what Instagram has provided me this second time.
Oh, isn't it something?
I mean, I just absolutely love all the ladies in the group. Look, shout out to the ladies in the group.
Shout out to the tribe.
Yes, I love you all.
But I see somebody. I wanted to high in the sky 76. I cannot take a nap. I would like you to expand on that a little bit more and explain to me why you can't. Not to get into your family situation, but even with 5 children, I got a nap. If you're home with your kids, take a nap when they sleep. You have to make it work because if mama not happy, nobody's going to be happy. If you don't rest your mind, your body is going to break down. If you don't rest your body, your mind is going to break down. You deserve it. So I tell people any excuses you have are your own. Again, I don't know your family situation, but I've been married, divorced. I've had deadbeat husband. I've had 5 children. I've had my daughter who has hydrocephalus. She's 18 now, so she can tell me what the symptoms are and things like that. But I've been through it all. And when my children went to sleep, I went to sleep. And when they're up, throw some toys around them and let them play. And then that's when you list or share or do whatever. But everyone can take a nap. If you're not taking a nap, it's because you're not creating that space for yourself to take a nap. And again, it's no judgment, but I'm saying that from a person who has worn all the hats and still a lot of times do.
Nora says, you can't have a balance with 4 people depending on me. Now, no. You got to still be able to find some kind of balance, right?
Nora already know. First of all, 4 people should not be depending on you. The only person that should be depending on you, Nora, is Zoe. She's the only person who is doesn't have a 20 next to her age or older. But that, again, I digress. Nora and I are really good, so I can throw that out there. She put it in the comments, so I'm gonna throw it back at her. But to me, it's the babies. Like, Zoe's 7. Nora has a daughter who is the same age as my granddaughter. So, like, same month, they're like a week apart in age.
Yeah. So I know that at some point the struggle gets real. The struggle in reselling, we're already talking about the struggle for, just keeping a balance, but the struggle in reselling in general, because we see it all the time. We see the memes, they lowballing, they doing this, they doing that. So how do you keep up with when it's struggling, it gets real? Like when COVID hit, that's another struggle that everybody had to go through. Do you have any advice? Like if we end up, because I know some places got some stuff open, but not everything is all the way, where it should be. So maybe you have some advice for just some people that might be actually struggling still right now.
So are we talking in terms of inventory, or are we talking business as a whole?
Business as a whole.
So
you can put inventory in there because that would be
I'm going to break it down just like a little bit.
Okay.
So first, let's just talk inventory in general. If you're struggling and you think that you don't have inventory, everything that is your inventory is inventory. Okay. And well, Brittany and I can relate to each other because we both use List Perfectly, but even without List Perfectly or a listing platform or a cross listing platform, you can relist. I've only started using List Perfectly in September. Previous to that, I was relisting. If you're on Poshmark, if you have items that are 60 days or older, use that copy listing feature. Before I use List Perfectly, intentionally, on purpose, 65% of my inventory was relisting. Going in once a week, twice a week, and relisting items, working by category, pull up that inventory report. You're going to have items that are 400 days old, but you're going sourcing. You have inventory right there in your hands. Everything. If you have a closet that is 1,200 items, if you have 1,200 items and they haven't sold, it's not like they sold. So you're sitting on 1,200 pieces of inventory. Cross list, relist all day long, every day, and you will make sales.
Yeah, because it renews it. You know what I mean? Like, Poshmark, I guess, if it's 60 days or whatever, you got to,
but if you don't even use, and this is the thing, don't get ourselves spoiled with the copy listing feature. That's brand new. It's brand new. So Poshmark ruined the party and said, it has to be 60 days or over. Okay, screenshot, copy and paste that description and title and move on. I did that for 4 years. Copy listing's only been around since the spring. I don't use that now because I use List Perfectly for everything. So add on some more platforms. Don't be afraid to multiply. I don't call them multiple streams anymore. They are multiple streams of income, but they're multiplying every day for me. Okay. Indeed. So if you only sell on one platform and you're not doing very well, pull the Band-Aid off.
Okay.
Seriously, pull the Band-Aid off and let that wound heal with fresh air and move over to eBay. If you're too afraid of eBay, do Mercari. Okay. eBay was the platform that brought me home. Okay. And I always say, and my group knows it, if I want to make money, I jump onto eBay. If I need to make a quick $200, $300, I'll move over to eBay. Okay. And I'll share with you. I don't usually share my numbers. I've been cross-listing with List Perfectly. I don't usually. I've only sold 27 items and I've made $1,000 already. So hello. Okay. So, and that's items that I cross-listed. I have not listed to eBay. Okay. So that's that. So it's love, but if you don't like eBay, try something else. There's Tradesy.
Right.
Okay, send some stuff to the real. I wouldn't mess with ThreadUp right now.
Right.
You have Facebook Marketplace. You have OfferUp. You have so many opportunities. Honestly, there is no reason why you should not be making money. Okay,
Listen,
go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but Facebook Marketplace right now, I just had to say that, like, I think you can get, they're not going to charge you until
No.
like next year and like
Yeah.
June of 2020.
They actually,
Yeah.
they've actually been extending it. And I think that's because they're seeing the experiences that people are having, really great experience. All these platforms are evolving. So if you were on eBay 3 years ago, believe me, when I decided to come home 2.5 years ago, I was selling on eBay. But then I said, you know what? I can make the same money on Poshmark. So I started putting all the effort in. Poshmark, to me, has kind of gotten a little saturated. It's a lot of competition. And I said, you know what? Let's jump on some other platform. So I sell on Macari. If you're into vintage, go into Etsy. If you're a handmade artist, go into Etsy. If you want to do some drop shipping, go into Etsy. If you don't want to do any of that, create your own website. So there's so many opportunities, okay? Now,
really
as far as everything else, and I'll tell you, I haven't had issues in terms of the pandemic. I know people who have been affected. People have been sick. No one has passed in my life, thankfully. And also, every opportunity for me is an opportunity to try something new. I need some water. Ooh. Every opportunity to try something new. So actually 2020 was like the year of pivoting. So I jumped deep into vintage, right? So I've been sourcing vintage, selling vintage like crazy. And what else? Oh, started a tie-dye store.
So you didn't have the tie-dye store until 2020?
No, I did not
Wow.
even know how, Brittany, I did not know how to tie-dye. I just, in the end of April, I said, oh, I want to do something because I'm a crochet designer. I used to do that. I had an Etsy store for 8 years. And I stopped it in 2008. Carpal tunnel and arthritis started getting to me. So I couldn't, I actually made more money crocheting than I do as a reseller as a whole. I had a great Etsy store. I used to vend every weekend. My son was my business partner. We would travel all over Philly and Delaware and Maryland and set up on the weekends. But I didn't. So I said, let me just try it. And I tried it. And then the resources were there. I would get those ThreadUp DIY boxes. Jomar has DIY boxes full of t-shirts. And I tie-dye and bleached them. I was combining them with my vintage store because I'd already had the vintage Etsy, but I didn't like the way they looked together. So I said, oh, let me just open up a handmade store. As soon as I opened it up, it just started doing well. July alone was my biggest selling time. I made like $1,500 in July alone.
And it's usually a summer slowdown. So that's really good.
And that
awesome.
I opened it in June. And I mean, it's still one of my, Etsy across the board is my best selling platform. Like I don't even have to use Sarah Styles' dashboard to tell me that. Etsy, yes. So start if you're, and this is the thing. If you have something creative, people forget who they are. You know, if you have gone to school for something, but you're not doing that in your profession right now, how can you turn what you went to school for, the thing you're passionate about, into a business, right? Can you create digital products? Start your own website. You can sell digital products on Amazon. You can sell digital products on Etsy. You create it, you set it, and you forget it. I wrote an ebook. I'm almost at 1,000 copies sold. Ain't no shame in my game.
Hey, I picked up one myself.
Right now it's $8. Yeah. It's $8.
Right. You can
19 on the January 1st. Okay. So I sat down and I put some stuff together. And I have a Pinterest 101, and I have 3 ebooks coming out next year. So you write it, have somebody read it and edit it, come and fix it and throw it on a platform. I have 2 websites that I sell on. So there, you could, if you write music, write some musical notes. If you knit, crochet, write some patterns. I mean, I'm telling you, my daughter's learning. I bought her a soap kit for her birthday. My other daughter's coming and they're going to learn how to make soap together to see if they can start a business. There's so many opportunities out there. Last year was the start of everything beautiful for Reseller's Passion, but 2020 has solidified my passion for learning, for stepping out on faith, comfort zone, and doing things that I'm afraid of. If you're afraid, that's when you should do it. You should step out walk through the fear. Like I use the analogy now that if it's fire and you see success on the other side, you better walk through that fire so you can
Okay.
grab that success. I'm going to walk through any fire that I can to grab that success.
You got to do what you got to do. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I had to do the reason why, part of the reason why I did my first live was when I saw you talking about it. Like one day I turned on the thing, because, I was new at that time, and I was like, who is this? No, look,
Hey,
this brown
hey,
skin
girl,
lady. What is she talking about?
Like she
But I
bald
don't know.
too.
I
She
said, I
wearing that
really
bald
like
head.
her.
Wow.
I just like her energy. You know what I'm saying? So I said, I'm going to listen to what she's talking about, because I never went live and I'm kind of scary. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to go live. You know what I mean? But hey, now I go live and I'm okay. I don't do random lives, so I need to do a little bit more of that. But, like not that much. I do them every now and again, but most of the time it's mainly just the Motivational Mondays.
Yeah.
But I'm stepping out. I stepped out of my comfort zone and look where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? It's moving in the right direction. So if you do one thing, usually the next thing will come and the next thing will come. Like you break down a barrier in one spot, and then next thing you know, you're doing something else. Soulful Chick says real is fast. Selling locally. Nora said lots of people have liked but not bought on the relist. Yeah, well, hey, you know what I mean? Like,
hey, that's what's going to happen. You just keep relisting. Listen, let me tell you something. And Nora, this is the truth. Nora knows me. Nora was actually one of the first people who started hanging with me. My journey started in January 2019. It'll be 2 years since I sat in front of a camera and just started having a conversation with the community. And Nora was one of the first people who jumped in and said, you know what, we're going to roll together. And she, I've been rolling with her and Patricia and Christy and so many people from the beginning. But what I want to tell you is, realistically, you have to look at everything. There are so many people who say they don't make sales. It doesn't have to do with the platform. What are you doing wrong? What is your truth in the matter? You know what I'm saying? Are your photos good? How about your title? You want somebody to find that. Look, and I'm going to keep it real with you. When I first started, it was just a hobby. There are some people who say it's hobby. For me, it was because my intent was just to go sourcing with my husband. And I talk about that. We had fun. I knew that when we were going to the bins, we either had breakfast before or we knew we were going to lunch after. That was a date. Ladies, if you want to date your husband or you want to date your spouse, whatever your situation is, look, they don't need to know you're going sourcing. Work that thing in some kind of way, right? And so when I started, my pictures were horrible. I would hang them on the back of the door. The original filters that Poshmark had, those original ugly filters that Poshmark had, I was like, oh, well, the filters are here, so I'm going to use them. I wasn't using my own. My stuff was wrinkled. I didn't have a steamer then, and girl wasn't using an iron. I was using daylight because I had the room that I'm in now, there was 2 girls living in this room. Next door, I have 2 girls, but those other 2 girls moved out. So I have a space now, but I had to live and work in my bedroom. So this is my truth to you. And when I decided to become full-time, I had to revamp my whole Poshmark closet. eBay is a little bit different. Now I do have an eBay store now, so I do want it to look pretty. But if you just have an eBay and you just like, let me just throw some stuff, that's like my husband. He don't care about what it looked like, and he still does well. You know what I'm saying?
Well, certain items you can do that with. You can throw an iPhone on the bed. Anybody want an iPhone, it's for real.
Because you want to, you like, oh, I found this thing. Let me take a picture of it. Now, if it's clothes, shoes, you still want it, especially if you're cross-listing. Man, that's the beauty of it. It's on Poshmark. Bam, let me use Vendor list perfectly and put that stuff on another platform, right? But we got to be truthful. We got to be honest with ourselves. Sometimes when you're not, actually for the most part, when you're not making sales, because I actually scroll through Instagram on purpose every day just to kind of get the conversation going. I want to meet new people and I want to hear what people's stories are. That's how I create content, and that's how I build a community, by just introducing myself and dropping in on people's posts. And you often hear people, I haven't had any sales since. And it's like, well, what's your part in it? You know,
it's usually always the case that you have some kind of part. There's a missing piece in there somewhere. Did you do offers? I mean, there's something, which I wish Poshmark had the offer to likers, like a what is it, a bulk way to do that, like on eBay. I just go on eBay.
I'm liking eBay. I'll do it eBay, and then the cool thing with eBay, it'll say it's ready. You know, it's what does it say now? You can send offers or whatever, and I'm good with that. And the cool thing with eBay is you can offer what you want to offer. Poshmark is like, you try to offer 24, they're like, nah, 19. Dude, like seriously, I'm already giving them free shipping. So come on now, whatever, you know. So Poshmark doesn't.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. But I wanted to, Drama Free Mama said Poshmark is a lot of work. Love
Yeah.
eBay. And then it says you don't have to do your own marketing as you do with your own site. Well, the beautiful thing about your own site is you can do whatever you want with it. I have 2 websites, and the more work I put in, the more work I get out. And this is the key, people, that people don't understand. If you build a community, everyone will come. Things aren't thrown at me. I've built this thing from the first brick on up, you know, brick by brick. I've built this business. Even Instagram is a business for me. It's strategically built to engage and meet people and love on people, but also run a successful business. And so if you create that platform, you can sell anything. You can sell, man, you can sell oil to
But listen, you have,
you know,
one of the most powerful things at your fingertips. It's the power of social media.
Seriously.
Period. Like, so if you're not putting it out there, like what you do right now, like with the shirt you have on right now, that's it. You know, you can do a post and have your shirt on.
That's
you
what I'm saying. Yo, put it on my Insta and on my YouTube videos. I put the link. I put the link in all my videos. Yes. So I just created that site. I don't know, Brittany, if we got there yet, but my mugs, I decided to design my own mugs. I was already using mugs that I was getting from Walmart and stuff. I was like, you know, I'm just design my own, and I buy them from my own store at half the price. And, you know, I advertise. That's advertisement, because the first thing people are going to say is, I love that shirt. Oh, you do? This is where you can get it from. Right. That's marketing in the purest way. You know, go to my reels, my 2 reels ago, I talked about marketing your own stuff. Market yourself. Market. You are your product. You're your product. Poshmark is not your product. Your inventory is not your product. When people get to know you, they're going to want to know everything about you. And when they meet you, they're going to be like, hey, she's got a business. Let me go check it out. People aren't buying your stuff just because they're buying your stuff, especially if they found you on Instagram. Instagram is a social media place where people want to get to know you. They don't want to see, oh, I got these clothes for sale. Girl, look what I got for sale. They want to see, yeah, I got some cute shoes today, but they don't want to be sold to. They want to see you. So market, you are your brand, market you.
We have some questions, but before we get to the questions that's actually in here, I'm going to finish the questions that was in my story. I just had a couple of questions. One was from Garage Grease. Do you follow a schedule every day, or do you just go with the flow? I think we already kind of answered it, though.
Yeah, we kind of answered it. I actually work off lists now. I don't follow a schedule. So a list, write some things.
Right. I do the planner thing too, and I love checking off boxes.
Yes.
So it could be something simple like call and make an appointment.
Very simple. Exactly. From the personal to the business. You're like, oh, I did that. You know.
Yeah, it makes you feel good. It just makes you feel good. And then Rose Resales just wanted to know what your best advice would be for new resellers.
My best advice for new resellers, first of all, don't look at anyone else. Okay. And if you are looking at everyone else, take yourself out of the emotional part and think about they started from the beginning just like you, and they had to work themselves up. So you're seeing them. Like I tell people now, and I'm going to say my numbers don't aren't who I am. I have over 20,000 community members. I don't call you followers here on Instagram, but I started at 0. So when you look at me, don't go, oh, I can't contact her because she's big. Don't fan me, just friend me. Just think about Leslie as being your best friend, and I'm just going to send her a DM and just say, hey, how you doing? And so don't look at other people, because everyone has a story to tell, and you don't know what their situation. It may took them 5 years to figure out that magic thing that they need to do, and now they're just celebrating with their packages. So just don't think about that, okay? And the other thing is just have confidence in yourself. I think that's the biggest thing. We lack confidence sometimes, and we're coming from different spaces. This has been a crazy year. So everything that you're bringing is probably built upon that you're probably in a situation where your finances are crazy, and someone introduced you to whatever platform you're selling on, right? Or you want to sell on. Okay, but come from a space and just take your time. Start from what you have in your own home. And I don't mean just from your closet, because oftentimes we think Poshmark, so we think closet. I'm a reseller, so I think across the board. And what I do at least once a month, my husband and I both do this. He takes his stuff to the flea market, but I sell my stuff on eBay and Mercari. I treat my whole house like a literal garage sale. And I go around pulling stuff out of drawers. And I have videos on YouTube and Instagram where I've done it. And I'll go into the basement and pull bins up and put everything on the table, go through it. Okay, I'm going to give this away and I could probably sell this. And just start selling everything you have. Your children have grown up, sell their stuff. Right. Toys, they know it's Christmas time coming. People who celebrate Christmas, okay, you got new stuff, I'm taking the old stuff. That's what you do. And start getting, selling that stuff, okay? Also, the myth is not true. You don't have to sell your Uggs for $150, okay? You don't have to sell your dance goes for $225, whatever you paid for them. Right. You're not going to get that, sis, okay? So just come with an open mind and just, seriously, like, you're reselling, okay? Your item is not worth what you think it is. It's only worth what the person who purchased it.
Okay, right.
That when it's gone, that's what it was worth. You accepted that offer, that's what it was worth.
Okay? You're not in the business of holding on to stuff either.
You want to get rid of stuff. So just like, and then one thing I want to say to everyone is take your emotions out of it. If you take your emotions out of your business, I'm telling you, it's going to be so much better. Don't worry about, like, I don't consider anybody a low baller.
Right. I was going to say, you have to do that with low ballers.
Yeah, I even think, to me personally, low baller is a bad word because we all come from a place. I'm a seller, and when I go on the Poshmark, I send an offer for anything. I have never purchased something straight out. I'm a buyer when I'm on that platform. Don't step to me going like, oh, I can't believe that seller offered me. Yes, I did. I sent you an offer because I'm a customer. I'm an internal customer. Okay. Right. So treat me as such and accept my offer or don't. So a low baller to me, because this is the thing you need to think about. If you've ever watched a YouTube video, like I have a YouTube channel, check me out at Reseller's Passion. And I have my monetized now. So an ad that may come up is a brand new Mercari ad. And Mercari's advertising that you're going to get 70% off. Now, Poshmark, there's a lot of people came because Poshmark was running those 70% off. So come on, think logically. When a person comes to Poshmark, they are looking at Poshmark. They're not going, oh, let me go to Brittany's store. They're going, I saw a commercial where Poshmark said I can get 70% off. So what they're going to offer you, 70% off. Yeah. So it's how you handle it. I mean, does that make sense though? Does that make sense to you? So that's what you have to think about. Like, people are coming to Poshmark. They're not coming to Leslie's. They're not coming to a Reseller's Passion. I happen to have my own little store, but they're going to go, like, I went to Brittany's and she had a top for $25, but it was a small and I need an extra large. Right. Let me scroll through. Now I'm at Leslie's store. The same top is $85. Why wouldn't they offer me $25 when they just saw it on Brittany's store for $25? Right. Like, come on, people. Or this is the last reality I'm gonna throw at you. When I started selling, I'm gonna go back to the dance goes. I wore dance goes because I'm a professional baker. I worked in several cafes, and the dance goes are the most comfortable shoe you can wear. Good for the arch. Feet, you can stand. I would be working 6 to 10 hours some days, right? Had me 2 pairs of dance goes back to back. I paid $125 for each. But my husband was giving me shoes. My first pair of dance goes, I sold those suckers for $10. I didn't care because I was a hobbyist. I was a hobbyist. And it was a 1-star at that because I threw it in a box, put some tape on it, and shipped it out. And they were like, poor packaging. And I was like, you know what? They're right. I couldn't even argue because they were right. My first sale was of 1 star. I'm keeping it real with y'all, okay? But my prices were low. I was literally giving stuff away. Now, they're not like extreme now, but if somebody were to go to the beginning of my store, like the beginning of my story, they're going to look and see, that was $10. Now you want $60 for these dance goods. People do that. Yeah. You got to think about all that stuff, y'all. Don't get offended.
It saves it. It like Poshmark. You can go back.
That's the only thing about the sales. It is so sucky about, but don't get upset. Just don't be emotional about things. Think in terms of business. I'm trying to make some money, y'all. And don't hold on to stuff. Look, you know, the struggle's real for everyone. And I want to keep it as real as I can with you. The emotional part, that's not going to help you. Cussing out your customers, coming on Instagram and telling all your friends, I can't believe that low baller. Now, but you want to tell me about that 50% off sale at the Goodwill, or that filler bag at the Goodwill. Everybody wants a bargain. So why would somebody else be different than you?
That's true. That's the bottom line. Who is this? Drama Free Mama says she says that she has her own website too, so she knows, but she says it takes dedication, because you got, I get it, because you have to still market it in some kind of way. You got to drive traffic to it some type of way. But she says, Leslie girl, you completely motivate me daily. Christine.
So Drama Free Mama. Okay. So she did say, she said, so true, Leslie. I tend to compare myself to Sarah Styles or Chris, my man, Daily Refinement, but that's not my situation. It cannot be my truth. And the key also, if you look, I know both Sarah and Chris personally. I've met Chris in real life, and I'm not afraid to tell you that. He's such a cool guy.
He's
I
great.
met him at Posh Fest.
Yeah.
And he interviewed me, you know, on his thing, on his YouTube. But he is like, so seriously, he started from the beginning though. And that's the thing we have to look at. So go back to his videos from the beginning, before he had 68,000, you know, subscribers. And me personally, I don't fan anybody. I look at everybody as just everyday people, because that's how I want to be looked at. My numbers don't define me. And so as long as the people stay relatable and they're teaching you something, you shouldn't even be upset.
Can't go wrong. You know,
you shouldn't be upset with him. And I know you know Chris, because you're doing his mastermind stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Chris has a mastermind group. I think that's awesome too, to have a group of people. If you are not in no groups, you need to get in at least one, and, you know, bounce ideas off of each other, because you might not have thought about it that way. Somebody else might come up with something and you're like, oh, I didn't think about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can't hang with, the only thing I can't hang with Chris, because Chris is like, let me see how fast I can get it done. Leslie, look, I'm gonna chill on that today, Chris. Because Chris, I happened to click on the other day, and he was like, okay, next time we'll come back and we'll see who's streamlined. And I'm like, Chris, I see you over there. But yeah, whatever.
He is like, you talking about you a workhouse. He works a lot too. Like
I know
he gets a lot done, and he's getting ready to have this baby. So he's going to have to juggle a little bit. Yeah. But Nikki says, do you have any tips on building a website? Because she says she wants to have a one-stop shop for all her products, budgeting, and women's clothing. Yes. Nikki at Glow, we'll give her a little shout out real quick.
If you're not
following
girl Nikki, yes. If you're not following my girl Nikki, you're sleeping. If you are struggling, if you're a single mom, if you're struggling, if you want to make two ends meet, Nikki is the girl for that. She's going to teach you how to budget. She's going to teach you how to take your paycheck, save some money. And so check out Glow Girl Glow. She's in my private group, and she's like a little sister to me, and I'm always going to speak life and support her, because she is glowing up, y'all. Anyway, so we can get deeper into that, Nikki, in the group, because C just asked me this very same question. I just walked her through, but I would definitely say, you know, find a service that works for you. I like Shopify. I've been using Shopify for about 8 years. I use it in my crochet design business, and I currently have 2 Shopify websites. There are other ones, you know, Weebly, Wix, Squarespace. Shopify works for me because it has a lot of great extensions, where I have like when people like, I know how Brittany has, you can go to, you know, schedule time with her. That is already ingrained in my website now.
Okay.
If my ebook, I create my ebook, and then it's a download app, which is free. So people just go and shop and they download the ebook and all my digital products. I put everything on there. And I was just telling C the same thing, because she wants to start a new venture. You can sell products. You can start a blog on there. And so I would definitely check out Shopify. They give you 2 weeks free. I don't have a link. See, ask me. I'm always talking about affiliate links, but I don't have one. But they give you 14 days to try it for free. And then you can also, if you decide to keep it, there is one, I think it's still maybe free, but I have a domain, which is aresellerspassion, passion, and then I have graphic necessity as well. So website, to me, I think everyone should still have it, at least as a landing page. You should at least have a domain and get it for like 2 or 3 years. So just in case, like if you have a name, Brittany, like you're changing your name, and you know eventually down the line you want to do something else, buy your domain now, because it'll surprise you. So many people have found that out, that they won't even start at Poshmark or on their platform. They'll start on Instagram and pick their name. But when they get to Poshmark, they can't get it because somebody has it. So
look, I'm writing it down.
Yeah, the same thing can happen with a domain, you know, and domains aren't expensive. Like, I know GoDaddy this time of year, you buy a domain. So what I did when I started my graphic necessity, I went in, it was 99 cents for the first year and $11.99 for the second year. So $12 for 2 years. And then normally you can find a domain as cheap as $5, as long as you can put it onto a website. You know, like, you don't want to get something from Joe Schmo Domains and then you can't use it on your Shopify. So like somewhere like the actual domain, like I buy my domain for Shopify, I actually purchased it for $11 off of Shopify. And so every year they'll send me an email and say it's about to renew. Do you want to renew? Yep. Take that $11 and move on. Yeah.
Diana says, glad to finally be making it to some of the lives again. Miss you, awesome ladies. Aww.
So someone says,
no, go ahead.
So someone says, so Rose Resell says, no group, can you recommend one? And this is, we were talking about this. If you want a group, how about creating one? Okay. If you build it, they will come. That's my philosophy. That's how I got here, from zero to where I'm at now. I have a personal group right now. We're not taking anybody because we're like, you know, we're ride or die right now. But if you need a group, create one. You can create a group and it's just really a chat. Like, I wouldn't even deal with Facebook because I've had Facebook. That's too much drama. I don't deal in drama. And so my group, we're like 25 strong, but you can create a group right here. Put the word out, create a post, use relevant hashtags. If you search for it, someone else is searching for it as well. You can be, it could be the single mommies group. It can be the group of mama boys. Resellers though, if that's where you want to go. So in that way, you're not only talking business, now you're building relationships. You're building friendships. So if you can't find it, build it, create it, start it.
Okay. If you can't find one, I mean, hey, so that brings me to my next point. I literally, like, now I found it to the point, like, since we're on the topic of groups, I have probably joined too many groups. So I'm like, now look, you know, like, I got too many groups. So now I have to cut back, you know, like, or say, okay, I can't be in this group or something because I have too many of them now. So, and whereas before I started Instagram, only thing I had was Chris's group. That's it. You know, there was nothing else. There was no groups because I wasn't really on social media. I wasn't like, I got off Facebook because there was too much drama. Like what you said, you know, like I didn't want to scroll through and see certain things. Like certain things I was like, nah, I don't even want it to come in my head. But on Instagram, since the account is a business account, I don't have that problem. I generally, everything that I see is what I pretty much want to see. Is positive. I love it. You know what I mean? But we do have some questions. So let me just pop the first one on the screen. There's a lot of them. You know? How does she manage her time? We already did that one. Okay, go to the next one. We did that. They must have popped back in here. What 3 things have you learned from reselling and your own business?
What 3 things have I learned? Well, the first thing is time management, right? So you do want to have a balance, especially when you first start, making sure you're getting down to the business of business first. So make sure you're running your business before you stay on social media or get too deep into all of the social stuff. Put time into your business so that you have to create a schedule. Okay. Mine is not a strict one, but I do have a semi-schedule. And then the second thing is build a community. I actually purposely looked for a community. I became full-time in August 2018. And then after the holiday, it actually 2 years ago this time, it was the end. Christmas was over. Sales were kind of slowing down before the January. And I realized I didn't have any friends. So I purposely, in my first video, I actually said, I'm looking for some friends. And be careful what you say because look what happens, right? And then the third thing that I've learned, Ashley, is to have fun. I have fun. I don't want to have any business that I'm not having fun. If it
Right.
stresses me out, I'm not going to do it. I'll walk away for a few hours or whatever. But I always want to have fun. In this community, you know, the second thing that I love has just brought me so much joy. So it's fun showing up every day, creating videos, having my podcast, and all the things that I do. But I definitely think if you have your own business, it should not be stressful. There are things that are going to happen with any business, finances, you know, partnerships or whatever. You're going to have some challenges. But if you're not having fun with your business, you have to reorganize, restructure, pivot, or do something. But I have fun every day. I have fun every day.
And that's what you should do. I feel like if it's starting to feel like it's a job
Yes.
that you don't want to go to, because most people don't even want to go to no job. Now, there's some people out there, obviously, they have, you know, they enjoy their career. Don't get me wrong. But I'm talking about the people that really don't, you know, really enjoy what they do.
Yeah.
What is Trends 101 Posh says, I'm down for that. Proud mommy here, 6 of 6.
I think they're making some group connections.
I'm like, oh, wow.
So I was just thinking, yeah.
Oh,
hey, group of 6. Yeah, I got you beat with my 10. No, I'm just
okay. I mean, she definitely is right though. I mean, when I did the I decided that I wanted to start a group on Poshmark to share. And I did that for community purposes, because what I was doing every day is I'm going in and I'm sharing random closets anyway, just to have some activity on the apps, because you know, the algorithm, they say it likes that. So, you know, I was doing it for that purpose, but it's nice to share somebody's stuff here and there, just like I said, for community purposes. And so I said, well, why not do it in a more organized way, where if you share theirs, they'll share yours back, and you get to meet new people. So, you know what I mean? So that's, hey, and it worked out for me well, and it just builds up. I mean, if you build it, you know, the people will come.
Yeah.
I mean, but you know, like what you were saying, like with the website and all of that, you might have to, put it in your stories or put some posts out so people know about it. Yeah. You
actually have to work
marketing
with every aspect of your business. You know, we happen to sell on these apps that do, in a sense, promote for us. But if you want to go beyond that, you still should be, in a way, promoting your own business, because it's your business. It's your business. You're renters on that space. So you have a small business ingrained into a larger business. And Poshmark, yes, you're sharing and things like that. But if you do the work and you market, you're going to see a definite increase, because this is the other thing that people don't realize, that within the reselling community, we're all buyers. I'll go to Poshmark before I shop anywhere else. You know, I'm kind of like a Walmart girl anyway, but I'll go to Poshmark. Like I got some money from the Poshmark 9th birthday party, some credit. So I'm every day looking like, let me see what I can find. Is this something that I need? You know, but I'm going to shop on Poshmark first. Your customers are here. You may have convinced yourself that they're not, but we're all your customers. Every single reseller is going somewhere and shopping. So why wouldn't they shop from you? And if you're doing, you know, mystery boxes, you should be talking about those things. You should be talking about mystery boxes and everything that you have to offer. Have an Instagram sell if you want to get rid of some inventory. Start announcing it. This is where your audience is. These are the people who are going to buy it. If you're moving and you want to get rid of inventory fast, bam, go live. Announce it though. Don't just show up. I tell people, you alive, like Brittany has 30 people here. That's because she and I have, between the two of us, we've advertised. But you can't just pop on and go, okay, I'm going to sell some stuff, and only a few people show up. It's all about marketing. Every day you're marketing yourself.
You just keep showing up. It's just like you said, just keep showing up. And hey, you got to be consistent. Anything you do, almost, it seems like in life, to maintain it, you have to be consistent. You have to consistently clean up. You got to consistently do the laundry. You got to consistently get an oil change. No, you got to you can't. That's just a part of it, that you're not going to really get out of that. But one thing that I wanted to discuss real quick before we get off, because it's almost time, but this is one of my personal goals, is to do 2 things. I mean, I'm already working on Instagram, but I'm also working on YouTube simultaneously. I know that you have some tips on those 2 things. So building Instagram, building YouTube, and you can talk about it simultaneously, but just your tips on those 2 things. I know there's some other people out there that want to know.
Yeah, my husband and I, we talked about this when we went live last night. Well, I talked about it after he got on. But yeah, Instagram to me is really simple. People overthink it. It's really about engaging. So we already talked about being your brand. I, Leslie, am my brand. And the thing that is identifiable about me, which I don't care, is my bald head, first of all. So when people like, yeah, literally, like when I went to Posh Fest 2019, people were like, is that you? I think I know you. And I take off my baseball cap. Oh, it is you, you know? And so that's how people recognize me. I don't wear my glasses as much. I should. But that's how people know who I am. So you instantly know I'm Leslie. And then you go, oh, you're a reseller's passion. So what I do every single day when I figured out what I wanted to do, first you have to figure out what it is, why you're on Instagram. You know, why are you there? If you're building a community, then get together with people, build a community, go live, do all those great things. All that stuff came after it. This is all, you know, evolving for me. I'm still growing and still learning, but I know showing up every day as myself, my true authentic self. You don't have to have your babies on here if that's not what you want, but if your kids don't care and you're okay, man, I wish I could rent a little kid right now.
A dog or something.
Or a
you know,
little
if you
dog.
got your dog.
I'm telling you, you know, Coco resell. I mean, look, color resell. Coco
Right.
be for her. Look, I'm like, you know what, Coco, can I have her for a couple hours? You know, so that's it, because my grandbaby don't even want to be bothered. My mom, please. Okay. So just show up as yourself and create just really great content. Have fun. You would think the reason that you see me every day with like a coffee cup, because that's like my engagement on those posts are like amazing. And I'm in my head, I'm going like, people actually want to see me. But the key is showing up, creating content that you're having fun with, right? Start with yourself first. What is it that you want to see? That's how I started my podcast. That's how I started my YouTube, creating content that I didn't hear or see. And that I knew other people probably wanted to hear or see it as well. So I just started showing up, and that's what I do here every single day. Now, once you create that content, after you snap that little cute picture, what are you going to write in your caption? What are you going to say? Right?
Right.
Because I'm a person that I don't mind seeing your boxes. That's a beautiful thing, because that's your achievement. But you're not going to ever see me go, okay, oh, I made 20 sales and I'm done. That's it. That's my post. My post is going to be
right.
how I worked, or pivoting, or adding new platforms, or how much I made, or where I got my items from, and you can get your items from here, or how hard I worked. That's what you're going to see when you see my packages. Not, oh, I made, you know, that. And then at the end, you want to have a call to action. A call to action is that question. You want to engage people. You want them now to talk back to you. So anytime you're creating a post, pretend that you're talking to the community. And then they're going to have a conversation back with you.
Yeah.
Then you're going to find about 5 other people on that post and start a conversation with them. And they're going to go, who is this? Okay, let me find out who this is. Then they're going to go to Brittany's. Okay, that's Brittany. I see what she's doing. Let me follow her.
Right.
Now your community is building. It's engagement. You can give me all the hearts in the world. That's not going to do anything for me, you know? But if you're engaging and you're conversating with me, that's going to build my community more. And then you have a post where you're probably like our friend, the Trish Van 99. She'll do, like, you know, a lot of people do reseller game trains. I would say keep it in the community. You know, don't go and just be doing, because I don't do likes for likes and follows for follows and stuff like that. All my growth is organic. And I think that's really important. Do not buy bots. Don't pay people. You know, people come into your DMs and say, I can help you. People will come into my channel. They'll have 200 followers and they're like, I can help you get followed. I'm like, dude, I'm at 20,500. Get away.
Get on out here. And that's organic. So, you know.
Yeah, that's just showing up as me every single day. And I'm having fun though. But then I still show up on the days that I'm not having fun. When I'm in the bed and I'm like, I'm staying in the bed today, I am truly staying in the bed. I truly have a migraine, but I want people to see that it's okay not to be okay. You can't get, and this is my true story, is you can't get any realer than me. A 51-year-old African-American bald-headed woman married to my husband, who's Posture Dude X. I got acne on my face, perimenopausal, hot flashing all the time. This is real life. You know, you can't make this up. So as long as I keep showing up and I know who I am, no one else has to come back to me and go, hey, you're that. Dude, I already told you who I was. You know, so if you keep showing up, there you go.
I was going to say too, and some of it, you do have to do some research. If you are having if you're struggling in a certain area, like I think Diana said, I struggle with the call to action. I forget that, and then I don't do it. She's not getting anything but likes. And then she says she also needs to work on better hashtags, but you can
Yes.
just
Okay.
go. Yeah, well, go
Yes.
ahead. You tell us.
No. I was going to say,
No.
this is the thing that people forget. You can edit all your posts. We forget that.
Yeah,
so what
true.
you should do is create your caption and all that and do your call to action. Then do your hashtags after. Hit send, hit share, let that go out. And then in the comment, come back with your hashtags. Yeah. That's going to help you because you think about things too much. And you can write some stuff down. That's the thing. And you can create a content calendar. I used to do that when I started really getting intentional. But now, just like with my business, I have a flow. There are people who they go to different apps and they use them and they create content months ahead of time. I don't know where my head is going to be a month from now. I'm not using Trello and none of that stuff to help me because I want to make sure I'm organic and natural, you know? Right. So what I do though, is I'll write down ideas. So just in case I forget something, and I'm going to share a trick of what I do every single day, every morning. When I go downstairs in the morning, I go and make my coffee. I take my phone with me and I carry my tripod with me. My tripod has a little clicker, right? No one takes photos from me. I take all my own photos and all my own videos. Has a
watch the video.
Right here.
Look, watch the video.
Yeah. So it has, yes, I do have a video that shows you how to take pictures and stuff. But what I do is I start my day thinking, okay, what can I show my community? People love me making coffee, right? Courageously Thriving Michelle, I'm making coffee almost every day. In a boomerang, boom, there's it pouring. It's just so cute. Oh, now I'm adding the cream.
It is.
So I'll just take photos all day long. And then I'll say, okay, let me share. And then the other thing that'll get you responses if you share people's stuff. Like if Brittany posts something, share Brittany's going next week when she's having her Motivational Monday, share that post. Some people are going to see it. Brittany's going to see that you shared it. Now she's going to come onto yours and share. Yeah. Okay.
I almost always
this is how we
back.
do. Yep. We want to engage. Yep. We want to do. Gary V talks about like the $1.80 thing, and it's even a website. I don't get into that. You just go onto like 10 and you give your 2 cents on all these different posts or whatever. Go and explore new hashtags. Right. I use hashtags that are relevant to me, not just reselling. I do, like if you look at the 3 posts that I just did today, over 50, midlife, anything that relates to me. I'm an alopecian. I have hair loss. I have autoimmune. I put that stuff in there so that new people can find me. So when they hashtag, if someone hashtags over 50 women or over 50 women, bam, I'm going to come up. And then they're going to go, oh, she looks interesting. And there you go. Right. I have a lot coming where I've been invited to people's podcasts. I've been on podcasts, over 50 different podcasts that have nothing to do with reselling. So open yourself up to different possibilities. Stories, do a story, do about 5 to 10 stories a day. Share right from your feed, but it's engaging. That's people like stories too. Yeah, people love, like, that's the key of it. You're telling a story. So like, I will pick a day where like I'm down in my studio and I'll go, oh, the coffee's going. I'll take a little video of that. Then I'll go over and say, hey guys, I'm behind the scenes. If you're already in my community, you know that this is my setup. And then when I come upstairs, because I work downstairs for about 30 minutes, then I bring all the stuff that I photographed into my space, do videos or whatever. And then when I sit down for Instagram, I'll slowly release the stories in order so that you can see the whole process of what I'm doing. So Nikki says, are you using
I was like,
I've heard they're not working. Yeah. This is the key, Nikki. You still want to use them because eventually they'll be back up. So you still should be posting the same way that you were originally posting, and try to use between 25 and 30. You get 30 hashtags. You want to use them. This is what you need to do. You need to create a bank of hashtags. I went through like last year and just set one day, and I have a whole book of like hashtags that I've created for myself. And you can just go through and just keep using hashtags and changing them up, because after a while the algorithms are like, right. And you should create your own unique hashtag. Like you should have a glow girl glow hashtag. I have hashtag a reseller's passion, hashtag a reseller's passion podcast, hashtag a reseller's passion YouTube channel, hashtag a reseller's passion community. I have all those hashtags. So when people put that in, they'll find me. Or if they just slowly type in a reseller's passion, all those other things will come up and it'll direct them to the posts that talk about my YouTube. I need to do that. I'm gonna have to take everyone that. Should have their own unique hashtag that is related to them. And then YouTube, that was where I started off in January of 2019. I thought YouTube was the thing. It's where I learned a lot of stuff. I sat down, did my first video in January, the first week in January. That's how Nikki found me. She's actually watched all my videos. And I did 30 videos. I just introduced myself and then I was doing videos, but I wasn't getting any momentum. And the reason why is because I felt that it was not saturated, but people were really looking at other things. So I said, you know what? I have about 500 followers over here. At the time, I wasn't whole community based yet. And I was like, I have about 500 people over here. You know what? I'm just going to do IGTV videos. And so I built everything up from there. I literally have about 250 IGTV videos. And so I started YouTube in January 2019 and I stopped in March. I did 30 videos and I just walked away from it. And I had 130 subscribers. I just came back. As soon as the pandemic hit, Nikki had said to me, she's like, when are you going to start making videos again? And I was like, you know what? The people are probably ready because it's education now.
Right.
Nothing haul videos. I throw that stuff in there. But after a while, too many hauls, I'm like, yeah, I want to learn about Instagram. I want to learn about Facebook. Right. I want to learn about Mercari. So I talk about Mercari shipping. I talk about Instagram. I talk about how to start a Facebook shop. I tell you how to, use Pinterest for your business. I talk about different things because I want to be educated when I look at people's channels. Yes, that skirt looks cute, but what else is the next video going to be about? And so that's why, I came back and I just went right into teaching mode. And from May to October, I went from 130 subscribers to over 1,000, and now I'm monetized. My numbers may not look as big as other people, but I'm monetized and I'm making a difference within myself. Do you recommend stories or posts or vice versa? Both. I would use stories more, but I would definitely, I would say at least post once a day. If you can, this is the key. People say they can't do it, but if you have a bank of photos and things like that, then you can do it. Photos can be, you see people every day. Take a picture today of your Poshmark screen and tomorrow pretend like you're there today and go, I'm sharing my Poshmark. People love that because that's your engagement. And then follow up, what are you doing today? That's that one question alone. What are you doing today?
Right. You don't even have to have a special question. Seriously. How's your day going? You know what I mean? Like,
seriously, but I use them both. Yeah. Stories, you can do so much with. Stories is a way to have a sale without selling to your community because it's gone in 24 hours.
Right. See? Well, we are going to go ahead and wrap up, even though, listen, I can talk to you for about 2 or 3 hours.
You see me all the time, girl. You got my attention all the time.
Okay, but we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up, but we want to let everybody know where they can find you. We know you have the ebook. Anything else like special promotions or anything you got going on right now that you want to announce?
So my ebook. It is the reseller survival guide. I wrote that in February, and right now it's $8. So you can find it. There's a link in my bio. So one of my 30 links in there, you'll find it.
That's what I said. Oh, wait a minute. So now, where is the
campsite link? Click the campsite link and it'll take you. You'll open it up and go, wow, I'm amazed. So many people are like, oh my gosh, you said click the link, but I didn't know you would have 40 other things. So definitely check out my ebook. I think it's for anyone because I kind of break down like a schedule. I break down like a budget for who should, what to do if you want to become a full-time seller. So some people who have never read my book, when they do advertise for me, they say it's just for the new reseller. Yes, the new reseller will appeal to it. I've sold like 250 books to people who are not even resellers. I've been on podcasts and they bought it. They've been selling for people who now want to make some money. And, I just break it down in like the simplest form. I don't overthink it. It's from my my Philly street educated, mind.
You got that Joyce Myers touch.
Hey,
look, I like Joyce because she's easy to listen to.
Yeah. Hey, listen, look. Joyce, I go way back with Joyce, okay? For real. And so, and then I just started a new Etsy shop. It's called Graphic Necessity, which is, we were talking about that because you didn't ask me about my Teespring, where I create designs on Canva and I put them on. I have a Teespring, which is a separate platform. And then I have Etsy where I create like these t-shirts that I wear. I create my own t-shirts and I sell them. And I create it, set it and forget it. And then the company sends it to the people. Like I just made 2 sales today. Actually, somebody bought a t-shirt and a mug. Stop by, the links in my bio, my Graphic Necessity. I sell tie-dye and bleaching, just everything. And that's the stuff that just brings me joy. It may seem like I do a lot, but the reason that I do it is because I can, because I'm alive. And I appreciate what I have. I think that's really important. you know.
You're right. Well, thank you so much for coming on the live tonight. It was lit. Thank you. And I appreciate everybody for joining and your questions and your comments. If I didn't get to it, I'm so sorry, but I do try. No, but we will see you guys back here next week.
Thank you, Snazzy Soul. Thanks,
Bye.
Brittany. Thanks, everyone. Peace.